Hey there! Welcome back to Reddit Dating, best channel for cheating stories. Make sure to like and subscribe the channel for more spicy stories.
I just found out my fiancé of 9 years cheated on me for several years. My fiancé Heather and I have been together since we were 24 and 20. We met each other when she started working at my place of employment and immediately hit it off. Within a few months, we moved in together and happily lived together for 3 years. When I was 28, I got an amazing job opportunity out of state. It came during a great time because there were at least was just ending, so I decided to take the offer. Heather initially was good to come with me, but decided to temporarily stay behind to help her family take care of her grandma. After her grandmother passed away, several other familial obligations kept coming up, so she never ended up joining me permanently. I was gone for nearly 4 years, but we started in a long-distance, what I thought was a committed relationship the entire time, with her periodically leaving with me for a few months at a time. I decided to finish up my Christmas shopping. And remember that Heather had talked about wanting to buy particular camera lens in an email earlier this year, but needed to pay off some bills first. I no longer have access to that email account. But I thought I would be in an amazing boyfriend and find a way to get her the expensive gift that I knew she would love. So I decided to see if she still had the email in her sent folder. We live together again and share everything. So I honestly didn't think it was an invasion of privacy or anything. But I ended up discovering that she was cheating on me for almost the entire duration that I was gone. I completely got it. From what I can tell, the guy lives out of state, and based on their communication, I don't think they ever met up. But after doing a bunch of digging, I am disgusted with what I found and have no doubts that she cheated on me. Her emails was full of videos of him jerking off, discussing crap. She sent him explicit conversations, plans for future together, etc. What makes me the most upset is she even saved screenshots and audio recordings of Skype conversations and whatnot that they had. For what reason? I don't know. But it's clear to me that she loved this guy at one point. After spending the last 5+ hours searching frantically through all her personal information, like a disgusting creep while she sleeps, it appears that their relationship ended at least a year ago, which makes sense because that's not too long after I got back in town. Now that I know all this, it's so obvious, and I feel like a giant fool all those times when she was due to hard to talk or was busy with family stuff. She wasn't just talking to that a hole. I just don't know what I should do. We just moved into our new house together this summer. We have best together, all our finances are intertwined. We are supposed to leave in a few days to spend a week with my family for Christmas, and then a week with hers, and our wedding is shadowed for next fall. What the dark am I supposed to do? Is this something that canceling could even get us through? A part of me just want to pretend I never found any of this out, because it's going to completely dark out my whole life. But I know it will never be able to look at her the same way again. Should it just fume about it in secret for the next few weeks so I don't ruin our family's Christmas and then deal with it? I'm so pissed off right now. But I don't want to make any rash decisions. As much as I hate my fiancé in this moment, she's all I've ever loved for the last 9 years. And if there's some way to make this work, I'm willing to try. I just logically don't know how I'll ever forget the conversations they had. Please help. When a route that passed, I wasn't in the clear state of mind and was desperately trying to keep my life from falling to business. However, when I woke up the next morning, there was no question what I need to do while writing the Reddit pauses. Started drinking, so after continuing to drink while reading your guys' comments, I was in no shape to drive anywhere. So I decided to crash on the couch. First thing in the morning, I was able to get a hold of my boss, who is an amazing guy, and let me start my Christmas vacation 2 days early. All I had to tell him was that a situation arose that is going to require me to call love my wedding, and he didn't need me to explain any further. When my fiancé got ready left for work, I pretended to be asleep on the couch. She tried to wake me up to ask me about the boost couch work situation, but I just pretended to be really tired and mumbled that I ducked her later. As soon as she left, I got busy. I quickly ran to the store and got printed in and in flash drive, then stopped by our bank and moved Harbor Joint checking savings into my personal account. When I got home, I made printouts of several of her damaging conversation screenshots, and a few still images of that a-hole jerking off, then say all that and a bunch of fakes, videos, audio recordings, etc. To the flash drive, I was able to get some of our credit cards, insurance and other financial items sorted out to be closed or in my name only. Luckily, we pay off our credit cards every month. So closing those down burn any issue. As stupid as it sounds, one of the main things I was worried about was my bets. I wasted nearly 2 hours of my daily digging through old paperwork until I found both of their adoption packets, which even though we had adopted them together, I had luckily filled everything out just in my name. I spent the last few hours that I had before she'd be home from work and packed as many of my items as I could into my truck, left copies of the printouts on our coffee table in our living room, and then took my darkened cat and all my family's Christmas gifts and drove to my brother's house. I planned on confronting her later that night, but I wanted all my important stuff to be out of the house so I could make a quick getaway after we talked for all those people asking why I just didn't kick her out. It's complicated. The house originally belonged to her family and we bought it together. I couldn't just kick her out if I wasn't going to be in the relationship with her. I wanted nothing to do with that house anyway. Also, she's quite wealthy. So if either of us have the means to buy the other person out of the house, it would be her. Anyway, about an hour after she should have been home, I got a text from her that said, "Are we going to talk about this?" So at that point, and drove home. I don't know what I expected her reaction to be, but it certainly wasn't what I got. I figured she would be remorseful, apologetic something, but she was just completely cold. I could tell she had been crying, but she didn't show any emotion towards me. As soon as I sat down, she said she noticed the bank accounts and asked me what we are doing about the house. I tried to keep my composure, but I basically broke down and asked her if she had anything to say for herself and asked why she did this. He told me she was sorry, but that she didn't love me anymore. And she planned on the Indian things after the holidays. Apparently she thought she'd be happy with our relationship once we started living together again. But I guess that wasn't the case. I had no idea. She started to cry a bit when she told me that she still loved the other guy, even though they supposedly have never even met. She then told me she would buy me out of the equity we have in our house if I was okay with it, and that I could have what's left in our joint accounts to get a new place. I couldn't believe how cold and businesslike she was being. I didn't know this person. I said okay and left. That's how my relationship of 9 years came to an end. I get back in my truck and bolt like Duck and Baby. The next day my brother and I left for my parents' house, and I've been here ever since. You guys were right. My family has been great. Alcohol has helped me a lot too. I still have a lot of to figure out with my house and the rest of our bolognese, but that's as much as an update as I can give. I haven't heard from her since I walked out. My dog and cat are here with me, so I have that at least. Thanks for helping me out.